So, moral of the story is, at one point in time, I lived with people that weren't my husband. And those people treated me differently because I had seizures. And because I had seizures and I had never lived with anyone else at the time, I thought I had to be treated differently. I thought I had to be treated like I was weird and different. And it's just not the case. You have seizures. You are not a seizure. But because I'd only ever lived with people that treated me different, that's all I knew, and I accepted it, and I thought that that's how it had to be. That's just not the case. So let's talk about it. So as always, I have my notes, the points that I want to touch on. So you'll see me looking this way to review my notes. I'll be honest, my memory is about as good as roadkill. So I always make notes for the points that I want to touch on. And for the record, my name is Shelbie, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my life. Welcome back to the Arctic tundra that is South Carolina. I don't know if you can see it, but some of my plants are still inside. I have one big palm tree outside that's still covered by a sheet because it is freezing, and I don't want all my plants to die. So eventually you won't be seeing a bunch of pots behind us, but for now, until it warms up, that's how it is. So, what we're talking about today is how to treat your loved ones, your friends, your family, your spouse, anyone in your life that you care about who has seizures. Now, the only reason that I feel as though I can talk about this is because at one point in my life, when my seizures first started, I wasn't married, I was young. I was treated weird. It became something that my life had to revolve around, whether I had a seizure that day or not. And I didn't know that there could be anything different because that's all that I had experienced at the time. So, my type of seizures are grand mal seizures. So, they're not exactly the quietest thing ever. I hit the floor pretty hard because there's no sort of body control, so it's just a human smashing onto the ground. It's loud. So, because it's loud, when I first started having seizures, and I'm just going to continue saying the people that I was with because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I'm not trying to guilt anybody or make them feel bad. I'm just trying to send a PSA out for the people dealing with this, that there's a right and a wrong way to treat people with seizures. So that's why I'm just gonna keep saying the people that I used to live with, and you can make your own conclusions as to who that is. Doesn't actually matter. So going back to my first point, the people that I used to live with, anytime I so much as tripped, stubbed my toe, dropped a spoon in the kitchen, like anything that was above silence, they freaked out. They would come running, they would make sure everything was fine, they would sit in the same room with me and just watch me and make sure that nothing was going to happen. And I felt so just on edge all the time because of this. Because the fact is, I am a very klutzy person. I drop things all the time. I stub my toes all the time. I'm a mess. I really am. And Most of the people who know me know that. But the people that I lived with never really caught on to that. So I spent years just tiptoeing around, trying so hard not to make any noises that would cause them to come running, thinking that I was having a seizure. And I just thought, like, I was such a burden because these people could never relax. And they were always running every single day to check up on me. And for years, this is how it went. But here's the thing that I never thought about until I grew up a little bit, got married, started being treated like a normal human being, that I realized the sound of a spoon hitting the floor, the sound of someone stubbing their toes, it is 100% different than the sound of someone hitting the floor because they're seizing. It's a completely different sound. And I should have never had to walk on eggshells if the people that I had lived with had just taken a second to learn what a seizure sounds like versus what a toe stub sounds like. So if you're living with someone that has seizures, take the time to really learn what their seizures are like so that that person who has seizures, which is already a pretty difficult thing to go through, doesn't have to feel like they're on edge, they're on eggshells, they're trying to just basically stay out of your way so you don't have to worry about them 24/7. Don't sit in the same room with them and just watch everything they're doing. That's so uncomfortable and it's just unnecessary. To be honest, and these are all my own opinions and my own feelings from experiences that I've had over a lifetime, I would rather have every single seizure by myself with no help whatsoever than to have to go my whole life being watched and treated like I'm different and weird and need monitoring. It's just not, it's awful. It really is. Like I said, I don't speak for every single person that has a seizure, but I'm pretty sure none of us want our existence to revolve around epilepsy. We're more than that. We're more than our seizures. Unless the people that we're living with make that impossible. And you make it impossible by not allowing us to live naturally like we would if we didn't have seizures. Now, that's how to treat, well, it's like chapter 1 of how to treat people that you live with, that you love, who have seizures. Hi guys, no makeup video editing, Shelbie here. As I'm editing this video, I'm realizing that it is getting a little bit long. I don't want to just completely demolish this video and shorten it just so that it's teeny tiny, because there's a lot of good information here that I feel like you and your loved ones will benefit from. So I'm going to end the video here. My first point touching on how to treat your loved one who has seizures in general. I hope you've been able to take something from this video. I've put a lot of work into thinking about how I want to be treated when I have a seizure, and then how I want to be treated just in general by the people that love me and that I live with. So, like I said, I really hope that you've been able to take something from this video and can apply it to your own personal life. Stay tuned for the second part of this video. It will be uploaded next week. In that video, I go over how to treat your loved one after they have had a seizure. Once they're waking up from it, just how to make them more comfortable until they kind of come back to the real world and realize what's going on. So stay tuned to that for that video. It will be uploaded next week. I hope you all have had an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye.